Hello and welcome to this cooler tutorial video for HCImage from Hamamatsu. In this video we will show you how to set up and integrate a pE-300ultra into HCImage. This setup can also be applied to a pE-300 white and the procedure is exactly the same. The first step is to download the drivers for the pE-300ultra. This can be done from the CoolLED website at www.coolled.com. From here go to Support and Imaging Software. Scroll down and select Downloaded here, right-clicking and saving the files. Once downloaded, these files will need to be extracted to somewhere memorable, in this case to my desktop. You can now connect the pE-300ultra via USB and plug in the unit if not already done so. You can now open the Device Manager. You should see under the Ports section that two ports have now been assigned to the pE-300ultra, in this case COM3 and COM4. If this is the first time of using your pE-300ultra, it is likely that the drivers will need updating. This will be shown by a small flag next to the text. To do this, right-click on the first COM port and select Update Driver, pointing your computer to where you've previously downloaded the driver. Then repeat this with the second COM port. Once done, we are now ready to open HCImage. If you don't have HCImage already available, please download this and follow the instructions from Hamamatsu. In HCImage, a default profile is opened. If you want to create a new profile, that can be done under File and Manage Profiles. To edit the profile you're currently on, select File and Current Profile. We are now going to set up the pE-300ultra within the software. This is done under the IO/LED devices. Highlight this and click Add. On this screen, select CoolLED Precise Excite and then switch to the COM port tab. Here you'll see two COM ports are available. These are COM3 and COM4, which we previously saw in the Device Manager. These may be different on your setup. Select one of these and click OK. In this demo, we'll be using a simple board camera as our detector. This will also be needed to be set up. Without a camera attached, the capture section of the software is not usable. And in this example, the board camera will remain with the lens cap on, so no images will be visible. But this is just for demonstration purposes. To set up the camera, this is done through the Image Capture Devices. Highlight this and click Add. Here we just have a single camera, so I'll select this and click OK. The software will recognize the camera and serial number you have attached, so this can be selected and OK clicked again. For further information on setting up cameras, please refer to Hamamatsu. You can now see in the Device Control tab, both the pE-300ultra and the camera are now included. Now click OK. We are now ready to set up any settings we may want from the pE-300ultra. To do this, go to the Devices tab and open up Filter Setup. From here, select Add, and here we're going to name our settings for what we plan to set up. In this first example, I will call it 365 nanometers, as I plan to set up a mode for just using the 365 nanometer LED. In the pE-300 series, there are three available wavelengths: 365 nanometers, 460 nanometer, and a broad GYR covering approximately 500 to 650 nanometers. All wavelengths can be set up individually, and the intensity required can be chosen and selected below. In this case, we're going to just use the 365 nanometers. So scroll down and select the IO/LED device tab. Here, filter A refers to the first channel, which is a 365 if the pE-300ultra variant is an SB, or 400 nanometers if it's an MB. I have an SB connected, so it will be a 365 nanometer LED. Filter B refers to the second channel, the 460 nanometer, and C, the third, the GYR LED. Filter D does not affect any of the LEDs and can be ignored as only 3 LEDs are present. The first LED can be selected by clicking Don't Care and selecting 1 UV. The intensity of this can be adjusted by selecting the three dots on the line below box can be unticked and the scroll bar moved to set the intensity that you require. Click OK. As we have titled the name of this previously to 365 nanometers, we need to ensure no other wavelengths come on. To select which channels are on or off, scroll down to the shutters section. Here again we can see 4 options corresponding to the 3 LEDs available and 1 blank. Shutter A responds to the first channel, so click this. From the drop-down menu, select High. This ensures that the channel will be turned on when in use. Low means the LED channel will remain turned off in this mode. So as we're just wanting to use the 365 nanometer, change the second and third shutters to low. Again, the fourth can be ignored. The setup for our 365 nanometer mode is now complete. So let's create a second mode for the blue LED. As before, click Add and name the settings something that you can easily refer to later. In this case, I'm naming it 460 nanometers. It could also be named referring to a fluorophore, for example something like GFP, if it's often used for GFP. As the 460 nanometer LED is in the second channel, we need to go to Filter B and select it from here. Again, selecting Don't Care, and here we can select 2B. And again, we can change the intensity to whatever we require. Now scroll to the shutter section and choose just the second channel to be turned on. So this is shutter B, changing that to high. Again, we want the others to remain off, so selecting low. Let's also set up the third channel for the GYR region. Again, clicking Add and changing Filter C to the GYR once we've named it. Here we can change the intensity again to whatever we require. Below from the shutters, this falls in the third channel, changing that to high and changing the others to low. These settings allow not just one LED to be turned on at once, but 2 or 3 can be set up as well. For example, if you want DAPI, FITSI and TRITSI in a single image, this can be done here. So name a new setting, something like this. And below, set the filter A to UV, B to 2B, and C to GYR. Again, adjusting the intensities to whatever you require. And scroll down, and as we're using all 3 LEDs, all 3 here will need to be set to high. Once you've set up all the modes you require, we can run a simple experiment. First, go to the Capture tab. Here we can select the camera that will be used to acquire the images. Select Disk, and below you should see any cameras that were set up previously. Upon selection, more options will now become available. Firstly, you can change to how many images you want to take. In this case, let's take 3 channels, and we can do one for each of the individual LEDs we've set up previously. These can be selected below in the drop-down tabs. Firstly, choose a 365 nanometer, below the 460 nanometer, and finally the GYR. Here you can also adjust the exposure. However, there is also an auto expose as well. Although in this demo, as the camera is not connected to a microscope and still has a lens cap on, this would not be required. If wanted, a live image can also be viewed by clicking Live. But once set up, you can now select Capture, and 3 images will be acquired. Processing and analysis can then take place. Thank you for watching this Cooler tutorial.